What's up guys, Mickle here, and the automated market maker might be the most important upgrade in XRP Ledger history, but right now the automated market maker is not passing as the validators are not yet convinced it is necessary to the ledger. In this video, I want to talk about whether or not automated market makers are ever going to pass. If this amendment is so great and so powerful, why aren't validators pushing it through? In this video, we're going to talk about whether or not I have any concerns, what I think is going to happen going forward. This is super important to the success of the XRP ledger over the long run. Towards the end of the video, I also want to talk about the economy though. We are currently entering into one of the worst housing markets we have seen since 2008, and this is almost always correlated with a massive drop in equities. I want to talk about whether or not I think it's also going to happen this time, or we are actually in a different scenario. Guys, this is absolutely critical to cryptocurrencies into the future. If the entire economy falls apart, crypto is going to go with it. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see that. This is very important. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. If you enjoy these videos, make sure to take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange, Uphold, down in the description of this video. Uphold is also giving away 50,000 XRP right now, so make sure to sign up using the link in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So I want to start out this video and quickly talk about a FUD point that's going around Twitter right now, and that is that Bitcoin and Ethereum are the only cryptocurrencies with regulatory clarity because the CFTC is calling them commodities. Now this is a narrative Scam Detectives is pushing on Twitter right now, and essentially the point he's making is if the CFTC decides that Bitcoin and Ethereum are commodities, well then those are the only cryptocurrencies with clarity because technically XRP was never declared a commodity, it was just declared not a security. So Scam Detectives is pretty much trying to make the argument that Bitcoin and Ethereum have more regulatory clarity than XRP. Well, I want to give you my opinion on this because I think he's making a massive mistake. I said poor Scams doesn't yet understand that agency opinions are not fact or law. The SEC had an opinion that XRP was a security, and that opinion was proven wrong. The CFTC could be wrong by calling Bitcoin and Ethereum commodities. Courts hold the power. XRP was deemed not a security by a federal court. So what I'm saying here and what Scams is completely missing is it really doesn't matter what the CFTC says. Because if the CFTC ever has to go to court and they are ruled wrong, well then their opinion is not going to stand. So the CFTC's opinion almost doesn't really matter until a court rules on it or Congress issues something as law. So right now, the CFTC coming out and saying Bitcoin and Ethereum are commodities is pretty much the same thing as the SEC saying XRP is a security. Yes, regulators can come out and say whatever they want, but until it is proven in court, until there is law proving it to be true, it's just an agency opinion. So in my opinion, this is really important to understand because even if you look at the fact that the SEC has come out multiple times and said Ethereum is a security, well, that pretty much proves that the CFTC calling it a commodity means almost absolutely nothing. This is the kind of FUD you are going to see all over the place. People refuse to accept the fact that XRP is the only cryptocurrency with certain clarity in the United States market, and it does not get more official than a federal court. Now, XRP could have more clarity, and I completely agree to that. If the XRP case was to go to the Supreme Court, XRP would have ultimate clarity. And I think we all know that Ripple would win at the Supreme Court against the SEC. We're not so sure about that with Ethereum. We're not so sure about that with Bitcoin. These two cryptocurrencies have not been in court yet. XRP has at least taken the first step and won its first battle at a federal court level. All Bitcoin and Ethereum have is agency opinions, and as we have seen over the years, these agency opinions change all the time. Now, ultimately, I really do think Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities. It's my personal opinion. To me, the cryptocurrency itself is never the security, it's the sale. Ethereum clearly had an ICO, and that ICO is a securities offering, but the Ethereum token isn't a security. Now, whether or not it's a commodity, I think that's a whole different discussion I don't want to get into, but the idea that pretty much Bitcoin and Ethereum have some regulatory status over XRP is completely wrong. The case Ripple won against the SEC gave us clarity that XRP is not a security, and that is the most official ruling we have seen in the crypto space so far. Like I said, people are just trying to push FUD. They don't like that XRP now has a one up on the rest of the industry. So they're going to try to twist narratives, make you think different things. But just remember, this makes absolutely no sense. And if it did make sense, well, the SEC and CFTC wouldn't be putting out conflicting views. The fact of the matter is, these are political agencies. They want power, regardless of whether or not it is right in the law. So now I want to move on and quickly touch about automated market makers, because there's a lot of people freaking out about whether or not the automated market maker is going to pass or not. Now, I've said multiple times, the automated market maker is going to be absolutely critical to Ripple going forward. And the main reason it's going to be so critical is because Ripple just announced at Swell the other day that they are going to start using the DEX and automated market makers when it passes to facilitate ODL trades. This means that even more of Ripple's activity is going to be happening on the XRP Ledger. Now, this in itself is pretty funny because people forever said Ripple doesn't need XRP. They don't need the XRP Ledger. They just need their software. And what we're seeing is time after time, Ripple moves closer and closer to the XRP Ledger and integrates it deeper into their payment stack. So what we're seeing is Ripple 100% wants the automated market maker on the XRP Ledger because it makes their business more powerful. So people are wondering if this is such a great thing, if it's going to improve liquidity on the ledger, if it's going to make the XRP ledger more powerful, why isn't it being passed? And I think the main thing people need to consider right now is that these upgrades to the XRP ledger, these code changes, take a long time to make sure there's nothing wrong with them. Right now, the XRP Ledger is one of the few blockchains that never goes down. The XRP Ledger has never had a massive crash. The XRP Ledger has never been down for an extended period of time. This is so important to understand because XRP's reputation is on the line with big upgrades like this. We need to make sure that these upgrades are 100% vetted before being pushed through. Regardless of how powerful the upgrade is, a couple weeks, a couple months is not worth risking the entire security of the ledger. If we need to take a little extra time to make sure everything's working, we should take that extra time. And it's really important to understand that despite the fact that there are a lot of people concerned about how much time it's taking, concerned that validators haven't gone all in on the AMM yet, it's so important to realize that we actually have come a really long way in order for the automated market maker to officially pass. So we're actually pretty close. We're close to about 40% there already, and it's only been a couple weeks, probably not even a month yet. I think it's just really important to put things into perspective. This is a massive upgrade to the XRP ledger that is going to exponentially bring more liquidity to the ledger and be amazing for Ripple's products. It's also going to cause new products, new businesses to be able to be built on the XRP ledger. It's going to be a game changer. But it is so important that we do not rush it, put this game changer on the XRP ledger just to break the entire ledger and make the whole amendment pointless to begin with because the XRP ledger is no longer working. We have the advantage of going slow here. We're still at the trail end of a bear market. There's not a lot of liquidity back in the market yet. Projects are slowly starting to ramp back up. So I don't think it matters whether or not it passes next week or passes in 3 months from now. The point is the XRP ledger is going to get this thing to pass because it is critical to its success going forward. I just wanted to point this out. I think a lot of people are focusing too much on the short term. Look at the trend. Validators are turning this thing on because they know it's important. They just want to make sure it's not going to compromise the security of the underlying payment infrastructure. I want to finish this video off and quickly talk about what is going to happen with the crypto market right now. And this is a chart I've been seeing all over the place, and I just need to discuss it on this channel. So many people are looking at the housing crash right now and pointing out the fact that whenever we see a housing crash, we see a recession. So if you see the orange lines on this chart, when the orange line goes down, which is the housing market, you get a recession, which is the gray line. And over again, you see housing market crash, and then we have a recession. Housing market crash, recession. Housing market crash, recession. Right now, the housing market is crashing. Where is the recession? People are saying this chart right here means there's a recession around the corner. But something that these people are doing that's tricky and they're not telling you is they are actually not showing the recession that happened in 2020. We had a recession in 2020. We had 2 quarters of negative GDP growth. So there should technically already be a gray line right through this massive housing market crash. But it is not put on the chart because they want to manipulate the data. They want to make it seem like, oh, we haven't had the recession yet, therefore it might be around the corner. Yet if you put the gray line on this chart right through 2022, you would see that it looks like every other year: housing market decline, recession. I just wanted to point this out because so far over the past year, the bears have been very loud. The bears have been calling for this massive liquidity crisis, bank failures, all these different things, but so far it hasn't materialized. And if you look at most asset prices, they've actually been up pretty significantly. In my opinion, we're actually past the worst of most of what's going to happen, and right now the bears are trying to make it seem like there's still more to come, when in reality we're actually through the worst of it. Inflation is almost gone. It's almost back to 2%. Right now, the GDP of the United States is still high. It was at 4% last quarter, which is outstanding. The Federal Reserve is done hiking interest rates. All the major macro catalysts are going away and the economy has survived. I just think it's really important to take these things into account. So many people are trying to forecast this recession that's right around the corner, when the reality of the situation is the recession already hit. They're just trying to hide it because of politics. We had 2 quarters of negative GDP growth that already happened. It happened in the middle of the high interest rates, the high inflation, and the massive declines in the housing market. This recession already happened. People just don't want to admit it yet because it goes against their own thesis. This is my idea of what's going on. Obviously, there's only a 50-50 shot. There's bears, there's bulls. Everyone has their opinion, but I think it is very fishy that charts like this are being put all over the place and no one is taking into account the recession we did have in 2022. It makes it seem a lot more likely that it's coming rather than, hey, we're already out of it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help so much. And for now, Mickle out.